Welcome to the channel. Today we are going on a trip to Madrid, the capital of Spain. It is a city where history intertwines with modernity, where art breathes at every step, and gastronomy pleases even the most demanding gourmets. Are you ready to explore Madrid with me? In this video, we will dive into the rich history of the city, uncover its cultural features, stroll through famous parks and museums, and, of course, taste authentic Spanish delicacies. Get ready for an exciting journey into the heart of Spain. The capital of Spain is located in the very center of the Iberian Peninsula in the southwestern part of Europe. The city is spread out on a plain, and from the north and northwest it adjoins the mountain range of Sierra de Guadarrama. Madrid is the capital of Spain and the largest city in the country. It is a modern and noisy metropolis, located almost in the center of the Iberian Peninsula. Madrid is the third largest city in the European Union. It is constantly buzzing like a disturbed beehive and is filled with seething activity and life that does not stop even at night. The history of Madrid begins in the 9th century, when the Arabs built a fortress here called Madrid. However, the decisive moment came in 1561, when King Philip II moved the capital of Spain here. Madrid, or lands of abundant water, is the name of an Arab settlement on the Castilian plateau, near the Guadarrama mountain range, which Philip II would later make his capital and place his court here, and which, several centuries later, would become the Madrid we know today. The first mention of the city dates back to 865, when Emir Muhammad I gave the order to build a fortress in the village of Madrid on the banks of the Manzanares River. Madrid in Arabic means many rivers. That is why the first coat of arms of the city bears the following motto: I stand on built-up water. My walls are afire. This is my distinctive sign and motto. Until 1083, when Alfonso VI the Brave conquered the settlement, Madrid was most likely Islamic. There is practically nothing left of the Madrid of that time. On Calle Mayor, next to the Italian Institute of Culture, in the place where the Church of Santa Maria was later built, the ruins of which can be seen today, there was the main mosque of the city and around it. As is customary in Islamic cities, there was a souk, the commercial part of an Arab city. Not far from here, on Cuesta de la Viga, you can still see the ruins of an ancient wall. In these places there was an almudena, or fortress, where the Christians, when they took Madrid, found a sculpture of the Virgin Mary, hidden between the walls and with a candle that had been burning for more than 400 years. Since then, Almudena has been the most popular name for the Virgin Mary in Madrid. The 19th century went down in the history of Spain as a time of political instability, which was also reflected in Madrid. The city experienced several uprisings, wars, and revolutions. In 1808, Madrid was occupied by Napoleonic troops, which led to the May 2nd uprising and the beginning of the guerrilla movement. This historical event was captured into paintings by Francisco Goya, now kept in the Prado Museum. The uprising of May 2nd, 1808 in Madrid and the 3rd of May 1808 in Madrid. After the expulsion of the French, a period of restoration and modernization of the capital began. The old city walls were demolished, which allowed the city to expand and improve its infrastructure. During this period, the construction of railways connecting Madrid with other regions of Spain also began, which contributed to economic development and population growth. The transfer of the capital turned Madrid into the political, economic and cultural center of Spain. The city began to develop rapidly. Palaces, churches and new streets were built. The golden age of Spanish literature and art also left its mark on the history of Madrid. The Spanish Civil War in the 20th century caused serious damage to the city, but Madrid was able to recover and become a modern metropolis while preserving its historical heritage. After Franco's death in 1975, Spain embarked on a path of democratic transformation, and Madrid played a key role in this process. The city became the center of political and cultural life in the country. In 1978, a new constitution was adopted, which enshrined Madrid's status as the capital of democratic Spain. In the following decades, the city continued to develop, turning into a modern metropolis with a developed infrastructure and a dynamic economy. Madrid is famous for its architecture. The city is rightly called an open-air museum. Cathedrals, temples, Catholic churches, Baroque buildings, countless galleries and exhibitions of modern art. All this is presented here in great diversity. Madrid is the largest transport hub in Spain, with a well-developed network of railways and motorways. The Madrid-Barajas Adolfo Suárez International Airport is the sixth busiest airport in Europe. Madrid is also the administrative and commercial center of the country, with government offices, the headquarters of many companies, and the main offices of leading banks. The city is home to some of Spain's best universities, including the Complutense University of Madrid and the Polytechnic University of Madrid. Plaza Mayor is the main square of Madrid, a witness to many historical events. Coronations, religious ceremonies, bullfights, and even executions took place here. The architectural ensemble of Plaza Mayor was created in the 17th century according to the design of Juan de Herrera. The square is surrounded by beautiful buildings with balconies decorated with coats of arms and frescoes. In the center of the square stands a statue of King Philip III, erected in 1616. The Plaza Mayor was built on the site of the ancient Plaza Arrabal, where the city's most popular market was located at the end of the 15th century, when the court of King Philip II moved to Madrid. In 1617, the architect Juan Gómez de Mora was commissioned to unify the appearance of the buildings located here. Over the centuries, the Plaza Mayor has hosted public festivities, bullfights, consecrations, coronations, and sometimes even autos da fe. The political instability of the 19th century led to a continuous change of names for the square. The Plaza Mayor in Madrid was called Constitution Square, then Royal Square. With the establishment of the First Republic in 1873, the place was renamed the Plaza of the Republic, Federal Republic, and Democratic Federal Republic. In 1876, it became Constitution Square again and remained so until it acquired its current name in 1940. The Plaza Mayor was inaugurated on May 15, 1620, on the occasion of the canonization of Isidro de Merlo y Quintana, on which occasion the poems of Lope de Vega were read. The first ceremonial event held in the square lasted 8 days. Since then, every year on May 15th, the main holiday of Madrid is celebrated, the Day of St. Isidro, the patron saint of the city. It lasts for 2 weeks, but only May 15th is declared a non-working day. In the very center of the square, on a granite pedestal, stands a bronze equestrian sculpture of King Philip III. The statue was begun by the Flemish sculptor John Bologna and completed by his student Pietro Tacca in 1616. It was given to the King of Spain by the Grand Duke of Tuscany and was originally located in the country residence Casa de Campo. In 1848, by order of Queen Isabella II, the statue was moved and installed in the main square. Today, Plaza Mayor is always crowded. There are many cafes, bars, and restaurants in the area. Numerous souvenir shops are hidden under the arches, where you can buy nice little things for yourself and your loved ones. On Christmas Eve, Plaza Mayor turns into a whole market of Christmas tree decorations and themed items. Passers-by are entertained by street musicians and self-taught artists. Today, Plaza Mayor is a popular place for tourists and locals alike to sit in a cafe, admire the architecture, listen to street musicians, or simply enjoy the atmosphere. The Royal Palace Palacio Real is the official residence of the Spanish royal family, although the monarchs do not actually live here. It is one of the largest functioning palaces in Europe, striking in its luxury and splendor. The palace was built in the 18th century on the site of an old Arab fortress. Here you can see works of art by Goya, Velázquez, Rubens, and other famous artists. Be sure to visit the Royal Armory, which houses one of the best collections of weapons in the world. The Royal Palace of Madrid, the residence of the Spanish monarchs from Charles III to Alfonso XIII, offers us a journey through the history of Spain. Although the current monarchs do not live there, the palace remains the official residence of the kings. In addition, you can now also visit the amazing kitchen of the Royal Palace, the most outstanding example of the historical kitchens of European royal residences that has survived to this day. Long before Madrid became the capital of Spain, Emir Mohammed I built an Alcazaba in Madrid, the Arabic name for the city, to protect Toledo from the Christians. After the conquest, the fortress was used from time to time by the kings of Castile, and in the 14th century it became what is known today as the ancient Alcazar. From the reign of Charles I and his son Philip II, the fortress served as the permanent residence of the monarchs. But in 1734, the building was destroyed by fire. By decree of Philip V, a modern palace was built on this site. The project was initially entrusted to Filippo Juvara, but the final drawings were made after the architect's death by one of his students, Giovanni Battista Sacchetto. 17 years passed from 1738, when the first stone was laid, until the completion of the palace, built by order of Philip V. The first monarch to live here and initiate the interior design was Charles III, often called the King Mayor of Madrid, because it was during his reign that the city was truly transformed. His successors, Charles IV, who created the Hall of Mirrors, and Ferdinand VII, added decorative elements, clocks, furniture, chandeliers, and candelabra. The Royal Palace Palacio Real de Madrid is the largest of all existing royal palaces in Europe and one of the main attractions of Madrid. Its second name is the Eastern Palace Palacio do Oriente. The palace was built from 1738 to 1764 under the direction of the Italian architects Sabatini and Sacchetti for King Charles III. Since then, the palace has been the official residence of the kings of Spain. However, King Felipe VI does not live there now, and the palace is used for ceremonies and as one of the museums of Madrid. The total area of the palace is 135,000 square meters, and there are 3,418 rooms on its territory. The building has a rich history, but the current appearance of the palace dates back to the 18th century. Such great masters as Caravaggio, Velázquez, Goya, and other authors participated in decorating the interior of the palace. Among other things, Within the walls of the royal palace you will see the Sabatini Grand Staircase, the Rococo throne room with painted ceilings, the Gasparini Hall, the Porcelain Hall, the State Dining Room, the Chapel, and the Armory. The palace is surrounded by the picturesque Campo del Muro Park and the well-kept regular Sabatini Gardens. Even if you don't have the opportunity to visit the palace inside, be sure to admire its facade and stroll through the Campo del Muro Gardens, which are located next to the palace. The Prado Museum Museo del Prado is one of the most famous art museums in the world, housing the richest collection of Spanish painting. Here you can see works by Goya, Velázquez, El Greco, Murillo, and other great masters. The history of the museum begins in 1819, with the initiative of King Ferdinand VII. The Royal Museum of Painting and Sculpture was then a repository of the personal collections of Spanish monarchs, which it was decided to exhibit in one place and open for public viewing. We owe the creation of the museum to the King of Spain, Charles V. In the 16th century, he became interested in collecting Spanish paintings, and his descendants continued the business and added new art objects to the collection. In the 18th century, the royal family decided to exhibit the collection for public viewing, for which they ordered the construction of a museum complex near the Prado Park. The opening took place only in 1819, after the end of the war with Napoleon. Over time, thanks to patrons and artists, the exhibition was replenished with works by European painters and sculptors. The wars of the 20th century did not affect the precious collection. It was temporarily taken to Switzerland. At first, the collection numbered just over 1,500 paintings, but after a few years the collection reached 4,000 canvases. The first acquisitions to the gallery were made in the form of donations from the royal family and wealthy citizens. In the second half of the 19th century, the museum was transferred from royal ownership to the state. The extensive collection was combined with the collection of the Trinidad Museum, which housed paintings confiscated from religious orders, as well as 19th century masterpieces acquired by the country. After the Revolution of 1868, the Royal Museum was renamed the Museo Nacional del Prado. The museum building is considered a real architectural gem of the city. Its construction began in 1785 according to the design of the famous architect Juan de Villanueva. The King of Spain Charles III wanted to place a natural history museum here, but the construction dragged on for more than 30 years. In 1808, when the construction was almost completed, the building was significantly damaged by Napoleon's troops, and only 6 years later they began to restore it in accordance with Villanueva's design. The pride of the museum is the painting of Diego Velázquez. The Prado contains almost half of all his works, about 50 works. Here you can see his most famous and mysterious painting with an unusual composition, Las Meninas. It simultaneously creates a sense of mystery and the effect of presence. It seems that the characters on the canvas are looking directly at the viewer. Another large collection is about 60 works by José de Ribera, who is often called the torture artist for his vivid depiction of human suffering. The Prado Museum exhibits the famous Prometheus. They say that in order to depict the hero's suffering as realistically as possible, the artist watched prisoners being tortured in prisons. The Prado National Museum in Madrid can rightfully be called one of the most outstanding museums of European art. Here you can get acquainted with the most complete collection of works by Spanish and Flemish artists, which were collected over several centuries, and also see masterpieces of European masters of the Renaissance and Classicism. And if you turn to Tripster guides, you can learn interesting details about the lives of artists and their paintings, and at the same time get acquainted with the history and culture of Spain. In 2007, the museum's floor space increased by more than 50% thanks to an expansion designed by Spanish architect Rafael Moneo. The Prado is huge, so it's a good idea to pick out a few rooms to visit in advance. Don't miss the works by Velázquez, especially Las Meninas, one of the most enigmatic and famous paintings in art history. The museum offers free admission during certain hours, so it's worth checking the schedule on the museum's website in advance. Retiro Park del Retiro is the largest park in Madrid, where you can take a break from the hustle and bustle of the city, take a boat ride on the lake, admire the Crystal Palace, or just stroll along the shady alleys. The Retiro Park was created in the 17th century for the royal family, but it was open to the public in the 19th century. Situated in the heart of Madrid, this park was created during the reign of Philip IV, at the same time as the Buen Retiro Palace, on the initiative of the Count Duke of Olivares. During the reign of Charles III, the Astronomical Observatory and the Royal Porcelain Factory of Buen Retiro were added. During the reign of Ferdinand VII, a pier on the shore of the pond and the House of Animals were built. Here you can find many interesting places, the Rose Garden, the Camellia Garden, as well as various exhibitions and events. The history of this place goes back to the first half of the 17th century, when King Philip IV's residence was located here. After his death, the park fell into disrepair and was later almost completely destroyed by Napoleon's troops. Everything was restored only in the second half of the 19th century. Today, the park's area is no less than 120 hectares. It is a favorite place for recreation for both local residents and city guests. In addition to almost 20,000 trees, there are several interesting sites here. This park is not only the green lungs of Madrid, but also offers Madrid residents and visitors the opportunity to enjoy culture, relax and play sports. Among the main architectural and historical attractions of the Retiro Park, it is worth mentioning the Great Pond, where you can take a boat ride or a motorboat powered by solar batteries. Attend a lesson on solar energy and attend classes at the Municipal School of Canoeing and Kayaking for children and young people aged 7 to 17. Also worthy of special attention are the Velázquez Palace and the Glass Palace, which are now used as exhibition halls. The Glass Palace, built in 1887 to display exotic plants at the Philippine Islands Exposition, is one of the best examples of frame architecture in Madrid. In addition, the Retiro Park has interesting fountains and sculptures, such as the monument to King Alfonso XII, designed by the architect José Gracias Riera, where this spring a viewing platform with magnificent views of the city will be opened. In the romantic Ferdinand VII Garden, on the corner of O'Donnell and Menendez Peleo streets, you can see the Fisherman's House, the artificial hill and the Smuggler's House, which now houses the modern multifunctional entertainment and hotel complex Florida Park, which for many years housed a concert hall. Also worthy of attention is the statue of the fallen angel, the only sculpture in the world depicting the devil, the Turtle Fountain, erected in honor of the birth of the future Queen Isabella II. The amazing chapel of San Peleo and San Isidoro, the Bosque del Recuerdo, Spanish for Forest of Memories, and the Puppet Theater, the only theater in Europe with a permanent repertoire on weekends. Retiro is a favorite place for tourists and city residents to walk and play sports. Jogging and rollerblading are especially popular. If you are going to the park with children, Retiro has numerous playgrounds at your disposal. The park often hosts concerts, theater performances, and other cultural events. It is a great place for relaxation and entertainment for the whole family. Madrid is a paradise for gourmets. Here you can try real Spanish delicacies such as tapas, jamón, paella, and, of course, chocolate with churros. In Madrid, they know how and love to cook. Madrid cuisine has absorbed all the best that is in regional cuisines. Some of the dishes have undergone changes, and some have remained unchanged. The traditional cuisine of Madrid has been formed over many centuries. Until the 16th century, The food of local residents differed little from the dishes common in the rest of Andalusia. Traditional recipes based on honey, milk, dates, semolina dough, couscous. When King Felipe II moved the Spanish capital to Madrid in 1561, the city began to grow rapidly. At that time, an interesting feature in culinary traditions was formed. The daily menu of aristocrats was very different from the traditional food of city dwellers, but gradually these differences were minimized. In the 19th century, the difference between the dishes of aristocrats and commoners practically disappeared. This was facilitated by the emergence of numerous taverns, restaurants, cafes, and pastry shops. They determined the traditional cuisine of Madrid at that time. Many dishes that appeared during that period are still popular today. A significant portion of Madrid's traditional dishes are fried in hot oil: squid, churros, chapatos, bravas potatoes. This is a separate urban culture. Most of these dishes are prepared very quickly and allow you to eat on the go. A significant part of Madrid's cuisine is borrowed from other countries and regions of Spain, but all of them are adapted to the tastes of local residents. It is impossible to imagine Madrid cuisine without olive oil, fish, seafood, offal, sausages, a variety of spices, and all kinds of sweets. The traditional menu usually includes fish and seafood. Especially popular dishes are cod, bream, shrimp, squid, sardines, mackerel, horse mackerel, anchovies. Tapas are small snacks served with drinks in bars. In Madrid, tapas is a whole culture. Just walk around the city and go to different bars to try different types of tapas. It is food that is convenient to eat standing up, going from bar to bar. Bocadillos are sandwiches made from special bread. They are prepared using cheese, jamón, potatoes, but especially popular are bocadillos with fried squid rings. Paella is a rice dish with saffron, meat, olive oil, vegetables, or seafood. There are a huge number of types of paella. Rosquillas de San Isidro are a delicious sweet, usually served during the San Isidro festivities. They are yeast donuts with a coating of cream, fondant, sugar, and glaze. Jamón is a dried pork meat that is one of the most famous Spanish delicacies. Be sure to try jamón ibérico. This is the most expensive and exquisite type of jamón. Jamón is a dry-cured pork ham that is one of the symbols of Spanish cuisine. There are two main types of jamón Iberico and jamón serrano. Jamón Iberico is considered a more expensive and exquisite type, as it is produced from Iberian pigs. Jamón can be purchased as a whole ham or already sliced. And of course, don't forget about chocolate with churros. This is a traditional Spanish breakfast or dessert. Hot chocolate and crispy churros are the perfect combination. Churros are deep-fried dough sticks that are usually served hot. It is a thick, sweet hot chocolate that churros are dipped in. Chocolate with churros is a popular breakfast or afternoon snack, especially in cooler weather. Madrid residents traditionally drink local wines, beer, and anise liquor. Popular soft drinks include barley water, a cold milk drink with egg whites and cinnamon, a refreshing drink, a milkshake with tiger nuts horchata de chufa, and lemonade. Of course, in Spain they drink a lot of coffee and hot chocolate. The latter is usually served with churros or French toast. Spanish cuisine is a celebration of taste, respect for products, and enjoyment of every meal. Here they know how to eat with pleasure, slowly, in good company. If you are in Spain, be sure to try the local dishes. Do not be afraid to go to small bars and markets. This is where the most vivid gastronomic impressions are born. Flamenco is a passionate and enchanting dance that is an integral part of Spanish culture. There are many places to watch flamenco shows in Madrid. Flamenco is a passionate and expressive Spanish dance that is an integral part of Andalusian culture. It is a synthesis of dance, music and singing, reflecting deep emotions and feelings. Flamenco is often called the language of the soul, where passion and emotion are expressed through body movements, music and vocals. Flamenco is not just a dance, it is an expression of feelings and emotions. In every movement, in every sound of the guitar and the voice of the singer, you can feel the passion and fire of the Spanish soul. Flamenco originated in Andalusia, in the south of Spain, and is believed to have its roots in the Gypsy culture. Over time, it has absorbed elements of Andalusian, Arabic, and Jewish cultures. Flamenco includes three main elements: dance baile, singing candy and guitar accompaniment toque. Flamenco is known for its intense emotionality. It expresses a wide range of feelings such as passion, love, sadness, despair, joy and others. Flamenco is an important part of Spanish culture and national identity, symbolizing passion, freedom and spiritual depth. Before attending a flamenco show, it is worth learning a little about the history and different styles of flamenco to better understand this art. Besides the famous landmarks, Madrid has many hidden corners worth visiting. The Rostro Market is the largest flea market in Madrid, which takes place every Sunday. Here you can find everything from antiques to clothes and souvenirs. The Rostro is a bustling shopping area in the heart of the city, famous worldwide for the size and variety of goods on offer at its street market on Sundays and public holidays. On any day of the week, you can visit a variety of specialty shops, traditional bars, historical corners, and interesting places such as the Museum of Popular Arts and Traditions. The most recognizable landmark of the Rostro is its bustling street market, held on Sundays and public holidays. First mentioned in documents in 1740, the market was originally a place for the sale and exchange of used clothing and was created as an alternative to the itinerant street vendors. The name, which means trace, probably comes from the bloody trail left by the carcasses of slaughtered animals dragged from the slaughterhouse to the tanneries. In the 16th century, the Rostro was also synonymous with abattoirs and butcheries. At Rostro you can find absolutely everything: old vinyl records, century-old suitcases, antique furniture, paintings, jewelry, clothes piles, fur coats, antique watches, binoculars, porcelain, textiles, lace, books, carpets, tights, souvenirs, hats. The Temple of Debod is an ancient Egyptian temple that was given to Spain by Egypt. It is one of the best places in Madrid to watch the sunset and enjoy panoramic views of the city. The Meroitic king Adid-Lamani began building this temple in the early 2nd century BC and dedicated it to the gods Amun and Isis. Their chapel is decorated with the most ancient reliefs. Through the efforts of subsequent rulers of the Ptolemaic dynasty, the original building acquired new extensions. After the conquest of Egypt by the Romans, the emperors Augustus, Tiberius, and, possibly, Hadrian completed the construction and decoration of the temple. After Nubia converted to Christianity in the 6th century, the temple was closed and abandoned. In the 20th century, the Temple of Debod, along with other ancient structures, was to be submerged during the construction of the Aswan Dam. However, in gratitude for the help of Spanish archaeologists, the Egyptian government donated it to Madrid. The temple was dismantled, its stone blocks were transported to Spain and painstakingly reassembled in the place where it stands today. Its restoration took 2 years, since reliable drawings of the structure did not survive. Some stones were lost during transportation, so they had to be replaced. Finally, on July 20, 1972, Tapas was opened to visitors. The Egyptian temple stands behind two stone gates next to a calm, shallow lake. It is surrounded by numerous plants, trees, and lush green lawns. Locals like to spend time here all year round, having picnics, doing yoga, or just relaxing and enjoying the views. The best time to visit the Temple of Tapas is just before sunset. The structure itself and the gate are illuminated at night, creating a clear, picturesque reflection in the water. Madrid is usually a leisurely city, quiet and perfect for leisurely strolls. The city comes alive during football games. Fans of Real Madrid and Atletico come from all over the country to enjoy the game of their favorite teams. At night, the city is also not like itself. Night parties do not stop until the morning, and noisy companies wander from establishment to establishment. The usual state for night Madrid allowed the city to be called one of the most party-loving night cities in Europe. For those who love nightlife, we recommend heading to Madrid's party-loving street, Plaza de Santa Ana, where you'll find the largest number of bars, discos, and nightclubs. Most restaurants open from 8 p.m., and nightclubs open at midnight. Public transport runs on several routes until 2 a.m. Another spectacular event that attracts crowds of people is the bullfight. From March to October, you can see this unforgettable spectacle on Sundays in the arenas of Madrid. The most important fights take place from May 1st to May 30th. The history of the bloody tradition dates back to the Middle Ages, to the time of the expulsion of the Arabs from the peninsula. At that time, corrida bullfighting was perhaps the only way to develop masculinity and a warlike spirit among the population of Madrid. During the performance's fights, the participants, who were often representatives of the nobility, honed their skills in handling weapons and horse riding. Courage, the ability to handle weapons and their bodies, made the bullfighters real. Getting around Madrid is fairly easy. The city has a well-developed public transport system, including the metro, buses and taxis. The metro is the fastest and most convenient way to get around the city. Madrid has many metro lines that cover all the main areas of the city. Buses are a good way to see the city and get to places that the metro does not go. Madrid has double-decker tourist buses that offer city tour. Taxis are a convenient but more expensive way to get around the city. In Madrid, you can easily find a taxi on the street or order one through an app. Before planning a trip to Madrid, there are a few important things to consider. The best areas to stay in Madrid are the city center Sol, Gran Via, La Latina and the Salamanca and Chamberí areas. Here you can find hotels to suit every taste and budget. Be sure to try Cocido Madrileno Madrid stew, Bocadillo de Calamares squid sandwich, churros con chocolate churros with chocolate and vinos de Madrid wines, ham, olive oil, wine, ceramics, fans or castanets are all good souvenirs to bring back from Madrid.
Floating on a tranquil sea, where the colors merge and leave. Gentle waves carry me to a place.
Madrid is a city that captivates with its charm, history and culture. There is something for everyone: art lovers, foodies, party people and those who just want to enjoy life.
The soothing melodies uplift notes dance upon the air, so light, calming my soul, taking flight. In this serene melody I find peace. Where worries and troubles cease.
I hope this video has inspired you to visit Madrid. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you liked most about this video. Hasta la vista.